All right, good afternoon, friends. Today we are still continuing our Benjamin Franklin's from our poster, and we're going to read a book and then talk about a journal page that you can write. So let's get started. So this book is called Ben Franklin's Big Splash, the mostly true story of his first invention, and it's written by Barb Rosenstock and illustrated by S.D. Schindler. So here we go. Ben Franklin's Big Splash. Before the world knew the famous Dr. Benjamin Franklin, his neighbors knew him as Ben, the sturdy, saucy, smelly son of a soap maker, the boy who on sweltering summer days snuck away from stirring soap vats and snipping candle wicks in his father's shop to head straight for the river. When he slid off his stinky shoes, stripped off his sweaty stockings, squirmed out of his stinky shirt, shed his steamy breeches, and splashed in, which made Ben a strange kid in colonial Boston. But in this seaside city of shipbuilders, almost no one got wet. Even sailors never learned to swim. Most people thought swimming would make you sick. Look at him. Like, what are you doing? Still, Ben swam as often as possible. He stood on his hands and shot his feet into the air. He slipped like an otter. He sloshed like a turtle, squirting, spurting, and spouting. Ben never got sick. Swimming only made him stronger and significantly less smelly. Ben spent hours soaking, asking himself big questions. Will I always work at the shop? Should I run away to sea? How can the sick son of a soap maker find success? And then he thought of small ones. Why can't I swim like a fish? It seemed simpler to start with the smaller questions. And that's what inventors do. They question everything. Ben speculated that fish were speedy swimmers because of their shape. He stared at some fish tails and then his own tail. He stared at some fish bellies and then his own belly. He stared at some fish noses and then his own nose. Ben was certainly not shaped like a fish. So how could he help himself swim like one? Suddenly, Ben stared at his hands, then back at the fish, and this time sprinted away from the river. Do you think he has an idea? I think so. Back at the shop, step by step, he sketched the possibilities. He snapped up some wood scraps and shaped squares, then circles, settling for something in between. He sanded the 6-inch wide surfaces smooth. He strung on string and strapped on straps, but skipped them both to stamp some holes, until soon he finished his first invention. Ta-da! Swim fins. Ben sprinted to the river, stood on the bank, stripped off his clothes, stuck his thumbs in the holes, spread his arms wide, and splashed in, which made young Ben even stranger than before. He never kept his ideas secret, and he never cared what people said. Most people squawked about problems. Ben searched for solutions. He couldn't wait to see if the fins succeeded. He struck forward with the paddles, shoved the water back under his shoulders, and soon sped along the fishes, at least for a few seconds, until his wrists got sore, his arms shook, his thumbs shuddered, and the fish passed him by. Ben noticed these fish sported more than one set of fins. He stopped, stared at his feet, and sprinted away from the river once more. Ta-da! Swim sandals. Look at him. Let's see if this helps. He sprinted straight for the river, stood on the bank, stripped off his clothes, strapped his feet into the sandals, stuck his thumbs back in the swim fins, spread his arms wide, stomped his feet, and splashed in. The problem surprised him. The sandals slipped off. His soles, his wrists still got sore, and no matter how hard he swatted and swashed, he swam slower and slower until he almost sunk. Ben sloshed towards shore, stood in the water, slogged up the bank, shook himself off, and smiled, which surely made Ben the strangest kid in all America. Because why is he smiling when it didn't work? Most kids might have felt sad, ashamed, or even the word I don't like, stupid. Instead, this smart, stubborn, sensible son of a soap maker simply thought he made a mistake, and he wouldn't stop. He'd seek studying, he'd struggle until he succeeded. Didn't give up. And though he didn't call himself one yet, that was the day Ben Franklin became a scientist, who soon enough made a bigger splash, solving bigger problems. His own neighbors and ours. So here are some of the things we talked about yesterday that he invented or helped create and worked towards. Some of them you might see. There's that harmonica with the glass, the lightning rod, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. He created the design that was used on the first U.S. coin, all because he wanted to know answers. And there he is. Oh, look at that. Here he is young, swimming, and he probably kept swimming when he was older too. So today, using this idea that he came up with, I think a lot of us love to swim. So for our lesson, we're going to write a journal. Usually we write it in our Draw and Write journal, but we didn't send these home. If you'd like to use them and moms and dads want to get out of the house real quick and come down to the school today or tomorrow, you'll find your journals in there. And if you don't...
In the tote outside.
In the tote outside, thank you. So if you don't want to, there's other options you can do if you don't want to come grab it. You can use a piece of lined paper and do it that way and just keep them all together in a folder. You can use a piece of blank paper for writing, or you might have a spiral notebook hanging around the house that you can use to do any of your work in that we're doing, and extra work on top of that. So those are some other choices you can do. Remember when we write in our journals, if you're using the lines, try and do your best with that. Once you have blank paper, just try and do your writing as best you can. Moms can even draw lines for you if you want, or dads. So our writing, remember our drawings, we're trying to do as many colors as we are old. That's our goal.
Oh, and we're posting a journal page.
Oh yes, and we are going to post on our website with all the other things, this page right here, so you can print it off if you wanted to. So there is that option as well, parents. So remember, friends, when you're coloring and drawing, you do as many colors as you are old. Try and be as detailed, especially because once from here on out, when normally we'd be in school, we would be using our journals a lot because we were learning all the writing and letters and words that we're learning, so we want to include those. So with that, find your piece of paper and a pencil and your colored markers. And today you're going to write about up here, because he liked to swim, I went swimming, and you're going to finish the sentence. I went swimming with flippers, or I went swimming with a friend, or I went swimming in the lake. You can finish that sentence however you like, and then your picture will match your sentence. Remember, first grade I know knows this, but I'll tell kindergarten too. We start, and you've heard this, start with a capital letter. All the other letters are lowercase. And then what do we end a sentence with? Some of you already know, with a period. There's no period here because my sentence hasn't ended yet. So you're going to finish the sentence. I went swimming. And then remember, you're sounding out those words as best you can. If you need a little help, the adults that are helping you can do that. Otherwise, happy writing. I can't wait to see it. I've seen a couple of my friends have sent me pictures of their work. I've loved seeing that because I miss you all. So send me pictures of the work that you're doing. This one, the journal, I would love to see. I like seeing your writing and seeing what you went swimming with, or with who, or where. All right, have fun writing your journal. We'll see you later. Bye.